The downtrend for gold and silver continues. However, the US dollar is doing something that could provide a little bit of relief here for these markets. So I'm going to show you exactly what that is in this video. We're also going to take a look at the euro and the pound. So a complete view of gold, silver, the euro and the pound, and also the DXY in this video. So by the time you finish, you will have a complete game plan for this week. So my name is Justin Bennett, full-time trader and founder of Daily Price Action. As always, all of this is my opinion only and not financial advice. So let's get right into it here, looking at gold. Now let's go out here to a daily time frame to really get a view of things on this higher time frame. And as I've said in recent videos, there's really nothing here on this chart right now to get bullish on. Okay, yes, we have the market possibly coming into some support down here around 38.95. We've talked about this before. However, just because a market is testing support does not mean it's time to get bullish, nor does it mean, at least for me, that it's time to buy, because you have this downtrend, lower highs and lower lows, and this has been the case all year. Okay, so that really kind of sets the stage for what we're about to talk about here on the 4-hour time frame. And over the weekend in that SMC Outlook video, what I mentioned there was that, again, we have an established downtrend. We have lower highs and lower lows. However, at the same time, okay, we have this BOS and the market trading down here close to that BOS, close to these lows. So for me to look for shorts in a market, I have to short high, right? That's one of my rules. I have to long low, short high. And that should be the case really for everybody, right? That's the name of the game if you are trading a market. And so when I look at gold here, trading at these lows and coming down here into this 38.95 level, this for me is not the time to be looking for shorts, okay? I want to see some relief here from gold up here, preferably into imbalances like this one right back here. So if we move in here and tell you exactly what I'm looking for, and we're going to take a look at the DXY too. I'm going to show you something on the DXY that will show you why we could see a little bit of relief from gold and silver this week. So this candle right here is kind of the one I'm eyeing over the coming days. I would love to see gold continue to give us these near-term, higher highs and higher lows to push back here into these imbalances, like right around 41.60. So I don't know if we'll get up here, but if we do, regardless of whether it happens from this low or we test this first, I would love to see the market get up here into this region before looking for shorts. And when I look for shorts, I've made videos on this before, but I'm essentially dropping to a lower time frame to look for a change of character. So again, check out my other videos. You can see a complete breakdown of how the change of character works, even my complete strategy in those videos. So that's what I'll be looking for from gold. Now, I know everybody wants to know, where is this market headed in 2026? And look, nobody has the answer to that. Nobody can tell the future. That's not how technical analysis works. But given the downtrend here, I think 38.95 would be kind of the next stop. Again, we could see some relief before that though. And then this area around 3,400 to 3,500, this down here is also a very obvious level here for gold, simply because you had the market testing this for months. We had this breakout, this ascending triangle that formed. We had a lot of displacement on this breakout, and so far that has not been mitigated. So markets remember this stuff. They tend to come back and backfill areas like this to give you that efficient auction that the market lacked back here. Okay, now if we take a look at a 30-minute time frame and turn on something called TPO. And before we do that, I have to bring this offer to you because I just partnered up with IC Markets, and right now through my link, they are going to give you a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000. And then on future deposits, they're going to give you a 50% deposit bonus up to $25,000. So $26,000 in total in bonus credits when you sign up using my link. So I will post it up here in the corner of this video and also down below in the description. Now, on top of that, for those who deposit $10,000 or more into their account using my link, I will give you lifetime access to our Discord group, which also includes the full SMC course. And by the way, I am active in Discord every single day, every weekday, helping members out, posting trade ideas, and also sharing my trades live. So be sure to check that out. See the link in the description of this video for more. Okay, so looking at the 30-minute time frame, let's turn on TPO. This is time price opportunity. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but I do want to show you this right here. So on this drop, this blue line right here, and for those who aren't familiar with TPO, this might look a little crazy, but trust me, it's actually very simple. This blue line is what's called a single print. And what happened here is each block represents a period of time, okay, a 30-minute period of time. And what you can see right here is that on this drop right here, we only have one block, hence the name single print. And so what this is it's a very thinly traded level, okay? So you often see the market come back to mitigate, to retest areas like this. Not always, it's not always the case, but you can see where this lines up pretty close to that 4160 area I was just talking about. Okay, so this kind of just gives us a little bit more context here in terms of what we could get from gold. You know, possibly, again, I would love to see these higher highs and higher lows continue. This is not a bullish call, but I would love to see this continue a little bit more relief here from gold to come back up here toward areas like this before looking for shorts. Okay, so let's move on to silver now, XAUUSD. And again, we are going to get to the euro and the pound and also the DXY in this video, so a complete roundup of all these markets. So we also talked about this over the weekend, and the downtrend continues, guys. Again, like gold, there's really nothing to be bullish about here. Even if we come down here and test support levels like this back here, okay, so you can see this is going to be a big time test right down here around $54. You can see we have highs back here for silver. This is where we broke out. A lot of displacement through here as well. So even though $54 is going to be a significant support for silver, that alone is not enough to be bullish on a market. Okay, it's also not enough, at least for me, to buy a market. It's never financial advice, but that's just not, it's not enough for me. We would have to see something structurally here on this chart to make me be a buyer. And so far, all we've had recently is this break of structure, okay, showing us that sellers remain in control. So until we have something structurally to get bullish on, for me, this is a short only market. Okay. So that's first and foremost. Now looking at this range right here. So external high down here to the low. Now we don't know for sure if this is going to be our external low. We could come down here and test 54, just like gold coming down there to test 38.95 first. So we could see, the market come down here first. But regardless, even if the low is here or somewhere down here, it doesn't really matter a whole lot because you can see these levels don't really move that much. Okay. So what I'm looking for is I want to see the market push up here into this 50%, ideally above this into premium before looking for shorts. Now, the thing to keep in mind is we just finished up the week. We're about to finish up the month. And you can see here on the weekly time frame, if we move in, what you'll notice is that so far last week's candle, okay, first of all, we did break below these lows. Okay, so that's the first thing to note here is that 61.62, this is now going to flip to resistance, okay? So this isn't necessarily SMC, but just from a price action standpoint, this area is going to attract sellers now. And furthermore, another thing too, is that you often get, once you have, and this is just kind of a quick little pro tip for you guys, and it's very, very simple, is that when a week closes, the same thing with a day or even a month, when one candle closes like this, and this was a pretty big range, right? Looking from the high down here to the low, what you often get the next week, you don't often see the market just open here the next week and then just move straight lower. Okay, that doesn't often happen. And you can see that from previous weeks, right? Notice back here, notice all the, what I call overlap with that previous candle. So with this week, okay, last week just closing up, what we could see here is a move up here into this area to retest this region. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for from silver, the same thing on gold. Okay, so again, like we did on gold, if we come in here to the 30-minute time frame, turn on TPO, and take a look at these single prints, you can see we've got one here. So right about $60.40 or so, and then one up here as well around $63.50. Okay. So in the context of, where this level comes in as far as resistance, we said 61.62. So right about here. So what I'd be looking for at a minimum is silver to come up here, tag this area, this inefficiency back here, possibly getting a wick up here toward this level as well. But as always, what's going to matter in terms of a short is first of all, seeing some relief up here. Okay, seeing some relief into premium, or at least close to it. And then from there, getting a lower time frame change of character, somewhere up here in this region to look for, that change of character, right? Higher highs and higher lows into lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so let's move along now to the EURUSD. And also guys, if you do want to see exactly how I trade, then check out the link right here on the screen. That's going to be a free SMC training that shows you exactly how I trade full time. It walks you through everything step by step. It's a very simple process, but also extremely effective. So it is completely free. Just click on that link, enter your name and email address, and you will get access. Okay, so for the euro, let's take a look at this market here because we're also seeing some relief with the euro, and that's not surprising because the euro, the pound, the gold, and silver do tend to move together because they are all inversely correlated to the US dollar, at least for the most part. It's not an exact science, but that does tend to be the case. And we are so far seeing the US dollar pull back a little bit, which is a scenario that I alluded to in the weekly outlook, okay? So looking here at the euro, what we can see is that we have this daily change of character back here. So this is where I was getting bearish on this market. And what we also have is what looks like a rounded top, right? And this has been pretty much confirmed with that change of character now, and especially with this new BOS, telling us that sellers remain in control. However, the thing with this, and we talk about this all the time, is that just because you get a BOS down here doesn't mean it's time to short. And you can see that too with this change of character, right? Even though this right here told us that the euro was flipping bearish, okay, following this BOS back here, even though this was the case, you can see what we got before we had that lower high form. And so it's the same thing with a break of structure. This is not the short opportunity. This is not the short signal down here. This is simply telling us that this downtrend remains intact. Okay. So for me, it's shorts only in this market while this is the case. So once we have that established, what we can do is head in here to a 4-hour time frame and check out external high to external low, map out our fibs. Okay. So from the high up here down here to this low, I'm pretty confident that this is now going to be our external low within this leg. So with this in mind, what you can see here is that the 50% comes in right here at these highs. So for me to short the euro, what I need is the market tapping into this area. We're going to call it 1.15. Tapping into this area here, you can see a lot of displacement on this move lower following FOMC. So I want to see this area. I want to see the market give us some relief up here toward this region, and then possibly from here, getting that change of character to get short. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for there. Pretty straightforward, right? We have a trend intact. We're seeing the market come off the lows, which is exactly what we want to see. And so this is going to be the area that I'm watching up here around 1.15 and really even above that, because you look at this candle technically comes in above that. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for, possibly like 1.155. That's what we'll call it. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for from the euro. Okay. No guarantee that we get up there. And again, this is not a bullish call on this market. This market is still bearish. This is just saying that we could see some short-term relief up here toward this level, at which time I will start looking for shorts. All right, so moving on to the pound, and we're also seeing some relief here from this market as well. So, this in line with the euro, what we had last week is we had the market give us a BOS below this low. So what this tells us again is that sellers remain in control. That's all it tells us. It's not the short signal, guys. You don't want to be shorting when you get a new BOS, the same thing with the change of character. That's just the signal to start looking for shorts. It doesn't mean you go out there and short the market. So looking here from, let's take external high up here, down here to the external low. So this is the external high that I'm using here. I want to be clear about this and not this right here. So technically you can see this was the high that technically produced this close. However, the thing is this high right here is far too shallow within this price leg. And furthermore too, you have this inefficiency up here. So you never want to be looking at a structure like this here and trying to short this when you have an inefficiency like this up here above the 50%. It's never a good idea because again, this is an inefficiency. It's an inefficient market, and markets do tend to revisit areas like this to give you that, to facilitate the efficient auction. So like the euro, what I'm looking for here, external high to external low, I want to see the market tap into this area above the 50%. Okay. So for this market, it could be, 1.335 up to about 1.34, this general region back here. Okay. This is what I want to see up here. The market mitigate before looking for a short. And again, I'm looking for shorts here simply because we do have a downtrend intact for the pound. And furthermore too, like I said, we did get a break of structure. Okay. A 4-hour close right here below this low back here. So technically for me, that is good enough to tell me that sellers remain in control, and I'm looking for shorts only, but I do want a short high. Okay, so let's wrap up here with the DXY, which is so incredibly clean. And this is obviously going to impact all of those markets I just talked about. So right now with the DXY, we have it coming off of these highs. So we did test this high right back here. This is the daily time frame. So this goes back to 2025. You can see we are coming off of these highs here. However, before getting bearish on the US dollar, and again, this is never financial advice, but you can see here, look at the weekly time frame. Okay, this was a long time coming, guys. We had a lot of highs back here. This was just a ranging market here for basically about a year, over a year. And so we did get the highest weekly close in 13 months back here. So this is not the time, in my opinion, to be getting bearish on the US dollar. Instead, what we are likely to see is the market pull back, which is natural. You don't often get moves like this and not see the market pull back to, again, fill some of these inefficiencies back here. Okay. Now, in terms of exactly where we could be headed, we obviously have the monthly close coming up. So this is going to be key, right? We've got just a few days left here in this month, really just a couple days left. And so where this month closes is going to be key. And again, you look at this here on the monthly, right? As long as the monthly candle, and I don't know that it will, but if it closes above these highs back here, it's not the time to be getting bearish on the US dollar, in my opinion. So instead, what I'm looking for here from the DXY is I want to see possibly a pullback down here into this area. So again, I talked about this over the weekend. It's no change to what I talked about there. And you can see where we do have these highs back here, a lot of displacement out of this range. And we also have the trend line here from these recent lows. So you can see that off of these lows down here, we've got this one and these lows here. So this area, in my opinion, is going to be the one to watch. Okay, so we don't know exactly where this is going to come in because we don't know if the DXY is just going to drop straight lower to here or, take its time over the coming days, and it could be somewhere over here. Okay, so I'm not going to speculate on what exact level we get here. But in my opinion, this level, as it aligns with displacement candles like this back here, or even these back here, in my opinion, this is going to be kind of the area to watch for the DXY. Okay, this general area down here. Now, what's going to determine if this is likely to hold or not, as always, is going to come down to a change of character, right? So if we get the market making lower highs and lower lows into this level, testing this level, and then taking out levels like this, right? You get the BOS below, you get the change of character, and then looking for that higher low. Okay, we saw something very similar actually back here in this area, which we also talked about in Discord in real time. Okay, so for now, what I'm seeing on the DXY is, lower highs and lower lows. We have no confirmation of a bottom being in here for the DXY. So possibly some, a bit of reversal here down here into this area as we head into July. Okay, so again, that could affect things like the pound and the euro, obviously, with this relief we're seeing, and even markets like gold and silver, although these markets just continue to look really weak, guys, specifically gold and silver. I mean, we're seeing some relief from the euro and the pound, but really, these metals are just looking really, really weak here, which is really just kind of supporting the idea that I'm looking for shorts only from these markets. But with the DXY pulling back, though, again, we still have that potential for some relief from markets like gold and silver. I truly hope this video has helped. If it has, then be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification. Also, check out the free SMC training right here on the screen. Again, it's completely free. Just click that link, enter your name, email address, and you will see exactly how I trade SMC full time. So until next time, trade well. I will talk to you again tomorrow.